Hello, I'm Nick, and welcome to my channel that I've dubbed AutoTechNick. Today I wanted to come out here and make a real quick video so I could give you guys a little bit of background about myself and also give you some insight on what kind of content you can expect to see upcoming on this channel. So let's jump into a little bit about myself before we really geek out and start talking about some of these projects here. Now, you'll notice behind me that red 1952 Chevrolet pickup. That happens to be my first car, which while I was in high school with the aid of my father, I was able to go through and restore and get it to pretty much the state you see now. I spent a lot of time cruising around in that, drag racing it, and really learning a lot of valuable lessons, and also getting obsessed with cars via that truck. Now, shortly after that, from high school, I wound up attending Wyoming Technical Institute, and while I was there, I attended their general automotive program, and then I was really going there because I wanted to attend their street rod programs, and they had at the time, two main ones. There was one for high-performance engines and chassis fab, and there was another one that was geared more towards body and custom paint. So I attended those classes, and really the intention that I had was to go to the Wyoming Technical Institute, and I wanted to get into the street rod industry and essentially be working in and eventually owning my own performance shop, street rod shop, where I'd be doing essentially the work I'm doing here in my home shop now. So as fate would have it, I didn't find myself in the street rod industry. For the last 20 years, I spent that time working as a master technician for BMW, and more recently I spent nearly the last decade working as a master technician and shop foreman for our local Ferrari dealership. Now, having the opportunity to spend nearly a decade working at Ferrari and stay within the Ferrari world was nothing short of amazing. I was really able to grow my skills as a technician to a level that I didn't think was possible, and I just had so much opportunity. It was absolutely a fantastic time, and working for Ferrari and at a Ferrari dealership was always a dream of mine before I even had this opportunity. So to be able to fulfill it was great. Now, while working there, it was pretty amazing. You're surrounded by some amazing cars on the day in, the day out, but really getting the opportunity to do rebuilds on the old vintage Colombo V12s, on 365s, to take a Ferrari Enzo and break it in half and separate the whole engine and transmission and drivetrain from the carbon fiber tub, so that way I had access to the engine to do whatever engine repairs were needed, to working on the best car in the world, in my opinion, and that's the Ferrari F40. Pulling out the engine and transmission, complete drivetrain removal from the car, pretty much had the car down to just a bare frame, doing a full rebuild on the transmission, overhauling the engine, and putting that car back together and having the satisfaction on that final test drive of how much you fix and how much better that car runs. Like I said, some genuinely amazing experiences working there. Now, Ferrari holds an annual competition that they dub the Testa Rossa Awards, and their aim of that is to find the best talent within the Ferrari network and recognize them. So what they do is during the year they have tests that build up to this competition, and they will select the 12 top people in each category to fly them to the Ferrari Factory in Maranello, and then they'll all hash it out and compete for the title to be the best of the best. Now, these events are pretty elaborate. They really wine and dine us. We get track time on the cars of Ferraris, and we have several days of grueling testing, practical test, theoretical test. Everything's timed, high pressure, very difficult. It's an absolutely amazing opportunity, and I've met some amazing technicians from this experience. I was lucky enough to attend it in 2016 through 2019. So I had the very rare opportunity of attending this 4 years in a row. Now, in 2016, in my first attempt, the program was called the Ferrari Tech Challenge then, and I was able to string together a third place finish, much to my surprise on the first attempt. I really dedicated a lot of time after that one, studying and practicing and really getting my skills up to par, because these guys that I was competing against are so smart. I finally was able to string all that together in 2019, and I achieved a dream that I worked really long for, and I was able to earn the title of the top Ferrari technician in the world from the Ferrari Factory in Maranello, Italy, which was an absolute, that was really achieving a goal that I set out to do as soon as I got into the Ferrari brand and learned of this competition. A lot of people helped me get there. A lot of people supported me and pushed me, and I met a ton of great people in the process. A really fantastic opportunity. I'm not sure why Ferrari doesn't really advertise it much more. If If you do check out my channel and dig through, I do have some videos posted that Ferrari gave us to the competition, so pretty cool. Take a look at that and it'll give you a good idea of what's going on. Alright guys, that's enough about me. Let's talk about the channel and why I decided to create it. Even though I didn't wind up in the street rod industry, I've spent the last 20 years surrounded by various projects that I've been working on in my home shop, both for myself and for customers. So I figured that I wanted to take you guys along with that journey and show you the projects I'm working on, and maybe I can sprinkle in some of the experience and skills that I acquired over my 20-year career working throughout BMW and Ferrari. So some of the content you can expect to see on this channel is going to really range. I'm pretty all over the board. I like modern imports. I like old classic German cars. I'm a big fan of old American hot rods and V8s. So really I have several engine builds that I need to take care of, ranging from big block Chevy, small block Chevy, classic Germans, modern import Subaru. Like I said, I am just absolutely all over the board on where I go. You'll see that I kind of like the resto mod style of cars. I like to keep things clean. I like to do a lot of subtle modifications that really improve the look. And you'll see everything from engine building to chassis work, suspension setup, installing complete new suspension, fabrication, rust repair, body panel replacement, painting, electrical, if I get the opportunity, diagnostics. Really, anything I encounter in the shop, I plan on filming and bringing you along for the journey. Now, some of my past projects include doing a resto mod restoration on a 95 Civic hatchback. I converted that car from an automatic transmission to a manual, put a 9,500 RPM B-Series Honda engine in it, and did a full repaint on that car, including engine bay and door jambs. Another older project that I worked on was an E28 M5, and did a restoration on the rear half of the under chassis of the car. So anything that was mechanical or rubber was pretty much replaced. Everything was stripped down and powder coated or re-undercoated and reassembled. Some other stuff that I've done in the past is the Subaru WX STI you see behind me. I built that car back in 2009, 2010, and it was making about 640 horsepower to the wheels. And it's sat largely untouched since that time, and it's awaiting its turn to go through and get updated. Now, more recently on the channel, what you're going to see a lot of content of is we're going to be working on some small odds and ends on this 2001 M5. I will be doing some work on my 1952 Chevy pickup. Really heavy on content on this E28 M5. We are doing a complete resto mod on this car. So, guys, thanks for taking the time to watch this video. I really appreciate it. If you guys want to follow along with any of these projects, including this E28 M5 resto mod that I have behind me, please subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications. Thanks for watching.